GBN presents Spice Up the Esplanade Mall Courtyard Soca Mona. 3 exciting Wednesdays of electrifying soca action. It kicks off with the quarterfinal Wednesday, July the 22nd from 3 to 7:30 p.m. The semifinals Wednesday, July the 29th from 3 to 7:30 p.m. The grand finals on Wednesday, August the 5th from 4 to 8 p.m. where champions are born and legends rise. Powered by Flow, Huggins, Answer Coatings, Glenelg Natural Spring Water, Grenada Distillers, Tropical Catering Services, Ride Go, Sandals Grenada, Grenville Cooperative Credit Union, National Lotteries Authority, Grenada Solid Waste Management Authority, and SP's International Trading, with support from Spice Mass Corporation, Grenada Film Company, and Jambalassi Grenada. 3 Wednesdays, 1 stage, 1 vibes. Don't miss GBN Spice Up the Esplanade Mall Courtyard Soca Mona.
In the studios of the Grenada Broadcasting Network, the time has now moved on to 7 minutes gone past 12. It's time now for the luncheon edition of news here at the GBN. Coming up in the news for today, Wednesday, August 5th, agreement reached to protect Grenada's historical drill yard as heritage review gets underway. In the region, search and rescue operations called off following the MV Barima tragedy. On the international front, Russia strikes, kills 21 as Ukraine says it needs more missile interceptors. And in sport, Warrican shines, but late batting collapse puts Windies in trouble against Pakistan. We have details to these and other stories when we return. The first segment of the news comes to you. Compliments Bryden and Miners.
Don't come to the back door, come through the window. Wednesday plays the lobby outside. Talk get number 8, talk fans just come out. And they make him out on you. Fish the anything, watch out.
Thanks for joining us with the details. I am Christlina John. Veteran defense attorney Jerry Edwin is urging authorities to examine the process used to select jurors, arguing that High Court jurors have become overwhelmingly dominated by women. Speaking on the issue with our news desk, Edwin says he has observed a noticeable decline in the number of men being called for jury service in recent criminal trials.
The World Health Organization says
there has been, over the last 5 years or so, a severe diminution in the number of men who are on high court juries here in Grenada. We were concerned. When I say we, I refer to the members of the criminal bar who practice in the high court, because that's where trials are held. Jury trials are not held in the magistrate's court. The difficulty we are having as lawyers is that men on the jury are a rare species. It is almost as though Grenada is 80% women and 20% men. That is how difficult it is to find men on the juries.
While emphasizing that women are equally capable of serving as jurors, he questioned whether the lack of gender balance could influence deliberations in certain types of cases or undermine public confidence in the justice system. Edwin argues that when one demographic group is significantly underrepresented, questions may arise about whether the objective is being achieved.
Further investigation, we determined that the jury pool is actually taken from the National Insurance Scheme workforce and not from the voters list. You see, the voters list will give us a better representation of a person's or defendant's peers. And that's what we want in a criminal trial. We don't want it to be lopsided 80% men. Similarly, we don't want a jury to reflect 80% women. That is an imbalance, and it actually is not a jury of one's peers. This actually has practical effect, a deleterious effect, a negative effect on defendants. In order to get one man on a jury, we exercise all our strikeouts. We will remove every woman on the jury until we get one male. And I think that is unfair to the system. By gaming the system in this way, we are saying, well, there are 3 men left who have not been chosen. There are still 20 women left who have not been chosen. Fingers crossed, we'll get one man on the jury. I don't think that is the way justice is to be.
The attorney is therefore calling on the body or officials responsible for compiling the selection or selecting of the jury pool to review the current process.
We are asking the registrar to revisit the jury list from the number of voters. That is, pick jurors out of the voters list and not from the National Insurance Scheme panel. It actually skews the jury in a direction that we think is not favorable to either the defense or the prosecution, and it means it is not a jury of a defendant's peers. Therefore, we are calling on the registrar, and if it means that the Minister of Legal Affairs ought to intervene, well, so she should. I think this problem can be arrested now, before we go back into the start of the new year.
Legal experts generally agree that jury selection should be impartial and representative, with eligible citizens chosen according to the law rather than on the basis of gender or any other protected characteristic. Maintaining public confidence in the administration of justice depends not only on fair trials, but also on the perception that juries are selected through a transparent and equitable process. It remains to be seen whether the relevant authorities will respond to the attorney's concerns or undertake an assessment of the jury selection process. Campaigners seeking to preserve Grenada's historic drill yard have announced a significant breakthrough, revealing that an agreement has been reached to secure the site while an independent heritage assessment is conducted. According to a Facebook post by the Grenada National Trust, the development follows a public petition that attracted widespread community support in opposition to the potential loss of the historic property. The statement also reads that all parties have agreed to take immediate steps to protect the site, ensuring public safety while preserving the building's structural and historical integrity during the assessment process. As part of the agreement, engineers representing both sides are working together with recommendation contractors to evaluate the condition of the drill yard's front building. A contractor will be appointed to install temporary hoarding and other protective measures designed to safeguard the public from any hazards posed by the building's current condition. The agreement also paves the way for a specialist heritage assessment. Organizers said urgent arrangements are being made to bring a team of experts to Grenada, including a heritage preservation engineer in collaboration with UNESCO and other heritage specialists. The assessment is expected to provide professional guidance on the site's condition and recommendations for its long-term preservation. Campaign representatives described the agreement as an important step forward in a collaborative solution, with all parties committing to work transparently and constructively to balance public safety with the shared objective of preserving the drill yard as an important heritage site. Supporters of the preservation effort have welcomed the outcome, describing it as a victory for transparency and due process. They say the agreement allows necessary safety measures to be in implemented without compromising the site's historical significance while export evaluations are completed. The preservation group has pledged to continue updating the public on the progress of discussions with UNESCO and other organizations. On this note, we end the first segment of the news, which came to you compliments Brighton and Miners. Do stay with us. Your regional outlook is up next.
It's me, people, thank God. Me big up Spice Up the Esplanade, you don't know. Big up GBN. First thing you don't know, Wednesday coming this competition, the 5th. I will be there. People, bring out their crew, bring out their fans, support. You don't know, Tasha, I'm fed up. You send me in a pink house, I'm fed up. You send me in a graveyard, I'm fed up. You send me in a prison, I'm fed up. I'm fed up. All what I do for Tasha, all what I buy for Tasha.
And now for a look at what's making news across the region. Search and rescue operations called off following the MV Barima tragedy. We have details of these and other stories in today's regional roundup from the OCM News Network. This segment of the news comes to you compliments Fortune Foods Limited.
Yo people, this is a boy Top Dan representing, and I will be singing number 10 and I will be closing up the show. So come with your crew and your massive and I will be there. I can't wait, ready for the big stage. I can't wait, Carnival a big day. They can't wait, Kamas you know you must play. They can't wait to put oil on the body. Take out your rag and turn it, take out your rag and turn it, take out your flag and turn it, take out your flag and turn it. Grab the fence and just shake it, Mas you know we and that's it. Take out your rag and that we'll be doing at the day, you know? Yeah.
I turn it.
The Prison Officers Association of Trinidad and Tobago has acknowledged the Minister of Homeland Security's recent proposal to reintroduce convicted inmates into public spaces. They are to assist with maintenance and cleanup initiatives previously undertaken through CPEP, while raising a series of concerns about how such a program should be implemented. In a statement, the association said meaningful work is an important element of rehabilitation, noting that properly structured work programs can help inmates develop practical skills, foster discipline, and better prepare them. But the association has a concern about adequate human resources. Homeland Security Minister Roger Alexander assured yesterday that will be dealt with.
We are going to reintroduce where persons who have been charged and convicted by a court and sentenced to hard labor, we are going to reintroduce those persons to come back out to the streets and help with the cleanup process.
He gave some assurances.
You know what is hard labor in the jail right now? Man smoking, a man is on his phone, internet and all these things. That's not hard labor. And if someone is smart enough on the inside, he could use that process to start to reintegrate himself back into the public.
He said only carefully selected inmates who have been medically certified fit, served an appropriate portion of their sentence, and successfully completed comprehensive medical, security, and behavioral risk assessments should be considered for such duties. The Guyana government ends the search and recovery operations following the MV Barima tragedy. The accident last month resulted in the deaths of 73 people and more than 30 others missing and presumed dead. A brief statement from the Office of the Prime Minister said yesterday the Maritime Rescue Coordination Centre remains operational and there has been no change in the status of the identification of the recovered bodies. A total of 76 persons were rescued during the morning after the ferry went down, but since then there has been no other recovery. The Ministry of Health is still seeking the public's help in identifying the remains of 5 persons who died in the tragedy. Prime Minister Mark Phillips attended an interagency meeting convened as part of the after-action review of the response to the MV Barima incident at the Civil Defense Commission headquarters on Thomas Road yesterday. According to a statement on his Facebook page, the meeting facilitated an interagency review of the coordinated response to the MV Barima incident and measures to strengthen national emergency preparedness. On Monday, a magistrate adjourned to September 7th the court case in which 3 people, including the captain of the ill-fated MV Barima, have been charged with murder after the 87-year-old vessel sank. Kevin Price, alias KP, the 40-year-old captain of the vessel, his 42-year-old chief mate Rondell Dwayne Roberts, and Delon Grandison, a 33-year-old goods superintendent, appeared by Zoom before Magistrate Ravindra Mahabir at the Charity Magistrates Court. The Rastafari community across the Caribbean is being credited for flying the flag of justice and reparations, especially when it was not trendy. Professor Sir Hilary Beckles heaped the praise on the resistance movement during a high-level discussion in Jamaica at an official state visit of Ghana's President Dr. John Mahama. Meantime, President Mahama declared that since his country's resolution before the United Nations deeming the transatlantic slave trade the greatest crime against humanity, some of the enslaving countries who abstained from the historic vote had since reached out regarding the issue of reparations.
Have you...
Boy had me hypnotized. I never cuss, I never fight. My friends, them tell me, girl, open your eyes. You don't see the boy having another child. People, come on out. Support Lola. Number 7 in front Esplanade Mall. We supporting the thing. GBN, ladies, we supporting each other. Come on out now. Like I was a young, like I was a stupid girl.
Tell me that's the center of the sheet. What?
Thanks for staying with us. And now for a look further afield. The Democratic Republic of Congo is preparing to open its largest Ebola treatment center in the eastern city of Bunia as the death toll surpasses 1,700. The World Health Organization Director General is visiting the country, while health officials has warned that the outbreak has not yet reached its peak. Here are details in this report.
The World Health Organization says the latest Ebola outbreak in the DRC is now the world's second largest, following the West Africa outbreak of 2014 to 2016. Insecurity caused by armed groups and community mistrust has seriously hampered response efforts. The outbreak is being driven by the rare Bundibujo strain of Ebola, for which there is currently no approved vaccine. Scientists in the United Kingdom and Canada are conducting the first human clinical trials to curb the outbreak and save lives. They say the experimental treatments show promising results.
And finally, on the international front, Russia has attacked Ukraine with ballistic missiles and drones, killing at least 21 people, as Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky says interceptors could have saved lives. Kyiv and the surrounding regions experienced the deadly strike it has seen this year overnight, with 17 people reported dead. Attacks in Kharkiv and Donetsk also killed 1 and 3 people, respectively. Do stay with us for your sporting highlights. And now for this item of sport. Well, at the close of day 3 of the second test at the Queen's Park Oval in Trinidad, the West Indies are in a highly precarious position, finishing stumps at 103 for 6 in the second innings and holding a razor-thin overall lead to just 60 runs against a clinical Pakistan side. The day was a dramatic tale of two halves, shifting from a masterful bowling display by the host in the morning to a devastating batting collapse under intense pressure by evening. Trailing behind Pakistan's formidable first innings charge, the West Indies bowling unit engineered a spectacular fight back. Left-arm orthodox spinner Jomel Warrican was the hero of the morning, capturing an exceptional 6-wicket haul, 6 for 112, to dismantle the visitors' lower order. Pakistan was eventually bowled out for 387, leaving the West Indies with a manageable 43-run first innings deficit. The optimism quickly evaporated when the West Indies began their second innings. On a rapidly deteriorating pitch, offering uneven bounce and sharp turn, Pakistan's spinner unleashed a relentless assault. With the umpires Drew Stumps, Justin Greaves won, and night watchman Jaden Sales on nothing, were left fighting for survival at the crease. With only 4 wickets remaining and a meager 60-run lead, the West Indies faced an uphill battle. Having won the opening test by 90 runs, the men in Maroons will need a monumental lower order regard on day 4 if they hope to set a defendable target and prevent Pakistan from leveling the series. While the West Indies will resume their game after this newscast. We'll return for a recap of the headlines in just a moment. Recapping the headlines that made the news today: agreement reached to protect Grenada's historical drill yard as heritage review gets underway. In the region, search and rescue operation called off following MV Burima tragedy. On the international front, Russia strikes, kills 21 as Ukraine says it needs more missile interceptors. And in sport, Warrican shines, but late batting collapse put Windies in trouble against Pakistan. Well, now I'm learning that West Indies only need 18 runs to win. So we'll resume with commentators and you'll get the rest of that after the newscast. On behalf of the entire news team, I've been your presenter, Christlina John, thanking you for having joined us.